We are here on we're doing this, I'll be honest. You're hearing it on a Friday, but I'm still giddy because it's Thursday morning, only a few hours removed from the Mets win. They sweep the Yankees. Spaghetti and meatballs are here. They're sulking, head in hands. Babyface Joel Solomon producing this mess. He's wondering how many candy bars he's going to have to eat. And joining me, as always, my gurus of gambling, my wizards of wagering, my barons of betting, my overlords of the odds, a degenerate trifecta, Harry, Brother Bry, Darren, the Parlay Kid. Mets take both games in Flushing, Parlay Kid. Take that. And it's looking bad for you with this cap of consequences. I'll tell you that right now.
What's going on, Sal? No, look, this is the difference between Yankees and Mets fans.
Let's hear it.
I've told you this. This doesn't mean anything to us.
That's such a lie. It's such a lie.
It doesn't mean, if anything now, look, you've played the payroll game for your whole life. You've played the payroll game. The Mets have a higher payroll than the Yankees now, right?
Yeah.
They have a higher payroll than the Yankees now, right? So you've played that game your whole life. And now you beat the Yankees twice. Now you have. The Mets fans have always played the payroll game with the Yankees, right? Oh, the Yankees have a higher payroll. Of course they should be better, right? So Yankees fans would say, yeah, we should be better. I still say the Yankees should be better than the Mets. So it doesn't, the end game for the Yankees, like future years, home run derby was the Mets end game. Now, the end game for any Met fan should be to win the World Series.
All right.
If you don't do that, all this means nothing. It means
nothing.
nothing.
It is. Everybody's fans are mad when their team doesn't win the World Series or is knocked out of the playoffs or doesn't make the playoffs officially. That's not going to change. Whether it's gravy or not, Bengals fans, because they won 4 games a year before, it didn't hurt any less that they lost the Super Bowl.
This only means something because the Mets are finally good.
Well, Parlay, don't minimize what it meant. You watched every pitch. You don't watch every pitch of when the Yankees play the Padres or the Rockies or something.
I'll watch most pitches.
Most pitches you're not watching. Believe
every
me,
game.
The judge at bats weren't as important in those games I'm talking about as they were last night. That's for sure. And by the way, you make it like it didn't mean anything. Like the Yankees, like little bitches, they go out and they sign Benintendi like a minute out. Marte hadn't even rounded first base on the walk-off, and the Yankees like, we need to make a trade. Don't tell me this didn't mean anything. Don't you dare tell me this, Brother Bry. Set your brother straight. Come on now.
I don't think Brian lost any sleep over this. Zero.
I'll tell you what, Mikey Meatball said all of his friends were devastated when they lost game 1. He did say that. This means something.
Yeah, well, I'll say what made it worse is I did have a parlay with the Yankees and the Cardinals at like plus 750, which yeah, it made it hurt. Well, but
Max's birthday. Yeah.
Max's birthday. Although I was actually looking to see if you could bet. I mean, I know the Yankees scored. I was looking to see if I could bet a shutout in that game, but if Max was going to go the full 9 innings. But when do you see the Mets, Yankees, Mets minus 195, right? The Yankees plus 165.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I sent that to you guys. That was the biggest underdog they ever were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you never see it. And I mean, it pretty much came down to, Judge kind of, Judge, I don't know what he was doing last night. He was trying to pull every slider that Scherzer, every pitch. If he would just go to right center field with those balls, he would have, had some success.
He had to know where he was being pitched. It was frustrating watching.
I know.
He had to know they were throwing that ball out a third of the plate. They was setting him up for it all night long. So
to me, key moments: Tuesday, Rizzo swinging 3-0 with the bases loaded after 7 straight balls by Walker. And the Judge awful at bats all night Wednesday.
The Yankees didn't do the little things in this series. Obviously, in the first game, especially last night. You could blame it on Peralta even not fielding that ball. That would have been the second out of the inning of the bottom of the 9th. Could possibly be looking at extra innings right there if he makes that play. We don't know what happens with the next at bat. With the infield back and stuff. But no, I think the Yankees haven't played good ball in a month here. They got bigger issues than the Mets losing to the Mets. They've been losing to everybody.
Yeah.
It's not like, they
2-5 since the break, D.
They've been bad since July. They've
Okay.
been,
all right.
Yeah.
So
if
they got
nothing
bigger
else,
fish to fry.
If nothing else, by the way, it's going to be great when Joey Gallo still starts over Benintendi. They figure it out, but that's
He's
good.
got to be.
Oh gosh,
That's going to be the next great thing. I do wonder that you should, at least for our bet, be a little nervous. I mean, you have to eat 5 Baby Ruth bars. What are the cap of consequences? We have, and all you guys are on the hook. All you losers, spaghetti, meatballs, baby face.
5 Baby Ruths. Well, I'm hoping that's what I get to do.
You do.
Sal, let you guys sweat it out. You got Mets fans, Yankee fans. I just want to see Parlay Kid have to do something. I don't want Parlay Kid to eat 5 kids. I want Parlay Kid to have to do something really bad. Really something that he doesn't want to do.
We're going to have to add to the cap of consequences as they go. So the bet is that the Mets have to win this 4-game series, or the Yankees have to win. Mets obviously up to. You guys could still win because it's run differential. Now, we had these guys figure it out. I had them up all night. Did you figure out the run differential, Mikey? Is it +4? Is that what it is? The Mets are on the Yankees right now? It is +4. Okay, good. Babyface, what are you crying about? The Yankees can't find pitchers to throw against the Mets? What is this?
Oh, I mean, let's just be honest. It did help that the Mets had basically the front of their rotation versus, the Yankees just threw out whoever they had available. I mean, let's just be honest here. It's not like
has Cole been dominating lately? I'm not sure. Every time I bet Cole, he loses. So I'm not. The one thing is, you're likely going to see Scherzer or DeGrom middle of August or the third week in August.
Listen, I'm going to be optimistic like the Parlay Kid. Basically, the Yankees have to win 2 games and outscore the Mets by 5 runs. Is that what you're saying? That's all we have to do?
Yeah. I mean, if you win 7-3, then it just comes down to the last game.
Yeah, we need the Yankees to win that third game, the third game of the series, just so it's very meaningful for that. Yeah, we have to. Yeah,
all right. Well, I'm not going to root for that. But go ahead.
So you know what else I was thinking of last night as I was sitting there, again contemplating. You don't hear the payroll talking, which is great. I'm so glad that I don't hear the Met fans complain about how high the Yankees payroll is. I love it. I think that's great. But here's something else I don't hear one National League fan complaining about. When I see Scherzer in the dugout last night getting pumped.
Yeah.
The fact that he doesn't have to get up and hit. For all these years, National League Baseball fans, I love the pitcher hitting. I haven't heard one person say, man, I miss the pitcher's hitting. Man, I miss. Has anybody said that?
No.
There's not been one person.
I evolved. I don't know if you're including me.
You have evolved. But a lot of, right? I don't hear one person arguing that fact anymore.
I think the Mets have taken good advantage of the DH. I think they have a lot of guys they could put in that spot. I mean, Vogelbach was traded as a DH, which is ridiculous.
But I'm saying, you didn't need to see Scherzer hit last night. He was pitching.
Right.
It was awesome to see him just focused on what he was doing and not have to worry about it.
If that's what you have to hang on to.
I was thinking about
it. That's great. Good for you.
A lot of people didn't want. A lot of people didn't want the
Damashek is the same way. He's argued with Hench over this. I've seen enough lazy 3 swing at bats from National League pitchers over the years that I realized we got to make the change. Enough is enough. But I mean, do I miss DeGrom going 3 for 4 every now and then? That was fun to see too. But we didn't get it. All right. So you guys, this is I did want to ask you, is Joey Gallo, because this is now, he didn't figure in the last night. Now we're Friday, but this Wednesday night's game. Is he your most hated Yankee, Parlay Kid, at this point?
No.
Ever? No.
On the team now he is.
Sure, he's got to be.
I've had Yankees I've hated more.
Really?
Only just because I don't even blame Gallo.
Mm-hmm.
I blame the management or the manager. Anytime I see him in the lineup, he just shouldn't be in it. Like he should be cut loose already. The fact that he's still, it's not. He is what he is. Maybe he can go back to a place where there's no pressure, like in Texas, and play baseball, and he could get his at bats, hit his 40 home runs. But he's just not fit. He's not built for this New York atmosphere. Just not. I feel bad for the guy. If anything, I feel bad for him.
Brian, you feel bad for him, or do you hate him?
No, I hate him. Although I will say, thank God though, the Yankees don't have they don't have multi years with him, because it would be excruciating.
This is it anyway.
Right? I mean, this is it. But I mean, his stats. He has, in 138 games, he has 67 hits and 191 strikeouts. I mean,
they're not even real numbers because you wouldn't last this long in any era or anything. You'd been brought down to the minor leagues.
And it's one thing if he's batting 160 in those 138 games, but it would be one thing if he had, if he had, mid 30 home runs and still close to 100 RBIs. He has 46 RBIs in 138 games. I mean, if you're not driving in runs, you shouldn't be playing. He should never be in lineup. He should have never came into the game the other day. I don't care if they wanted a 2-run homer in that game, but he should never play, like Parlay Kid was saying.
Babyface, probably the most ineffective Yankee, I'd say, after hearing those numbers from Brother Bry. But most hated?
The numbers, put them on your league? The numbers are a disaster, and but all you hear from the teammates in Boone is how likable he is. But guys like Kevin Brown sucked and was an asshole, so that makes it even worse. And that was
a monster contract.
Yeah, and of course, Game 7 of the ALCS when they gave him the ball and he gave up the home runs to Ortiz and Johnny Damon. Kevin Brown is absolutely my most hated of all time. And he punched a wall, which was that's smart,
and probably didn't pay for it, right? Yeah. All right, so there you go. I'm excited about this, and we'll add to the cap of consequences. Oh, we're gonna have so much fun with this bet. And then the Yankees are going to win the World Series, and none of it's going to matter. Hey, I did say, people get mad, Parlay Kid, about the playoffs, and there's a lot of playoff teams around. And I'm not just saying this because of the Yankees, but I like that there are more teams competing for better players now around the trade deadline. Now, right? We have a couple days left before the trade deadline, and it's not just the Mets, Dodgers, and Yankees going after Juan Soto, where that might have been the case if we didn't have extra playoff teams. So that's good for the game, I think. I don't love the one game elimination. I know you guys didn't when it was Garrett Cole against the Red Sox last year, but it makes things interesting. More teams alive, more teams vying for the big players at this point, right?
Yeah, it does. That's the only thing they could do. So when we grew up in the 70s, there was 2 teams that made the playoffs, and we somehow could survive with that. We loved baseball enough where, your team could be 30 games out of it, and you were still kind of watching baseball during those days. Yeah. These days, that's just not going to be the case, right? So this keeps a lot of the middle of the pack teams in contention. It makes things more interesting, and it's really to keep the fans' interest, right? That's really
do the Red Sox sell off? I mean, no, there are a couple games outside of a.
They got it right. They got
to
think about what they want to do. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's good. All right. The one thing that's bad is I bet Padres under 89.5 wins. I know Hench for -3 also. We were on that. We were going crazy about you, Darv, about the Padres. The way they lost yesterday was outrageous. Staying under, and now they're the leader in the clubhouse to land Soto. So it's like, oh, shit.
Crazy.